One, two, three.
Hey guys, right now I'm getting my blueberries washed off. So far, this is 6 pints of blueberries. There's 2 more. I have 2 more in the refrigerator. I'm guesstimating that I'm going to use 8 pints of blueberries to have 11 jars. 11 jelly jars I'm going to try to fill. So far I have these all soaked up, washed. I have these jars out because I was thinking I was going to use these, but I decided against it. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get these into my boiling water over here. That hasn't quite boiled yet, but I'm going to sterilize my jars in the boiling water and prepare my blueberries for to be filled into the jars. And I'm also over here washing off my strainer. My funnel, my my lid lifter, my plastic spoon, and my jar lifter. And I can't locate my headspace measure thingy right now, so I'll just eyeball it. Right now I'm picking through the blueberries and I'm transferring them from the strainer over into the bowl and looking for any rotten ones or bad ones. I'm also trying to pick out any stems. Sometimes blueberries have stems on them, and I just want to remove those so that they won't end up in my finished product. So I'm just checking them out and making sure. See, that one looks like a grape, so I don't really want that in there. See, so I'm just picking through them, sorting them real good, and then I'm gonna either mash them with my masher or run them through the food processor. Actually, right now I think I'm gonna mash them first and see if that works out good instead of trying to clean another piece of equipment. So I'm gonna use my potato masher. So I'm mashing up my blueberries, and this is what I'm using. I'm using my potato masher, mashing my blueberries. It ended up making what the recipe called for. I'll put a link in the description box to the original video, but it was a recipe that was doubled. Instead of 4 cups, it was 8 cups of blueberries. So my 6 pints, once I cleaned out all of the berries that weren't all that great and everything, then it ended up making filling this, which is this whole container is 8 cups. So I know I have 8 cups of blueberries, and so I'm just going to mash them until I get like a little paste or whatever, and then I'm going to put them on the stove and show you what I'm going to do from there. Okay, so I have my 8 cups of mashed blueberries. Well, this is as much as I can get it done, but I figure they'll hopefully do like cranberries do, and when they start to boil, the rest of them will pop open. Because I just really did not feel like using the food processor right now. And I'm okay if it's a little bit on the rustic side and has blueberry chunks in it, because I like chunky jam. So that's my 8 cups in there, all mashed up. I have my jars in there. I'm not going to take them out until I get ready to pour my jam into it. Got my jar lifter waiting on the side. Over here in the sink I have my lids and my rings ready to be sanitized. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pour the liquid out of the jars, the boiling water, and pour it onto here so it will soften the inner part of the lid, which needs to be softened. Here I have 4 tablespoons of lemon juice, fresh squeezed lemon juice. My daughter did it for me. A tablespoon of butter. And I have my pectin, and this is 6 tablespoons of the, let me show you, 6 tablespoons of the Real Fruit Pectin by Ball. Is low or no sugar needed pectin. Okay, and the reason why I'm using the low or no sugar needed pectin is because I'm halving the sugar in this recipe. Usually you use a cup of sugar per cup of fruit. So I would normally, if you're going to do it that way, you would use the classic pectin. You want to put 8 cups of sugar for the 8 cups of blueberries. But since I'm using the low sugar, no sugar pectin, I'm going to go ahead and put 4.5 cups of sugar into the mix. So this is my 4.5 cups of sugar, This is my 6 tablespoons of the pectin, or 2 packets. If you're using the packets, it's 2 packets of pectin. 4 tablespoons of lemon juice. You can use store-bought lemon juice, the kind that comes in a bottle, but I decided against that this time because I was reading some of the ingredients and just didn't know what some of that stuff was, so I just squeezed the lemons instead, so I knew what was in it. If not, if you want to use the shelf-stable lemon juice, I recommend the organic, because it really, all it says on there is lemon juice. Some of these other ones have some calcium chloride stuff in there, and I don't know what that is, so staying away. And then I got my tablespoon of butter. I think the butter, a lot of people put the butter in. They said it keeps it from frothing when you're mixing it, and when it's boiling, it keeps it from frothing up. So I'm going to add my ingredients to this. Let me bring my stuff over. We're going to wait on the sugar until it comes to a complete boil. So right now I'm going to add in my lemon juice. Gonna mix that up. Looks good. Okay. Then I'm going to add my tablespoon of butter. And then I'm going to you want to take your pectin and you want to sprinkle it across the top so you won't get any chunks. Kind of evenly distribute it across the top. Okay. And then you want to mix that in. And then you want to bring everything in this pot to a rolling boil. And once you get it to that rolling boil, that means when you can't roll away the boil, the bubbles, then we're going to add our sugar. Okay. And so I'll be back when I add the sugar. So it came to a boil, and now I'm adding my sugar, and I'm mixing my sugar in, and we're going to let it come to a boil. Once it comes to a rolling boil, this is when the timing starts. 1 minute after it comes back to a rolling boil is when you want to go ahead and start putting them in your jars. Okay, so after it comes back to a boil for 1 minute, let it boil out for, like not now. I'm not going to say 1 minute from now. It's not boiling. Once the rolling boil comes back, count for 1 minute, and then we'll go ahead and put them in the hot jars. Okay. So I'll go ahead and get that. I'm going to go ahead and, because the sugar cools it down. That's why the boil goes away, because the sugar cools it down. Okay, so I got that in there. Oh, this looks delicious too. This color, you see how dark the color got and how it changed. It just looks beautiful. This is going to be some beautiful jam. Okay, so I'm going to let that go ahead and do its thing. While that's happening, I'm going to get my jars out. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do my jars. Pour a little bit of it off. Bring it over to the sink. And I'm going to pour it on top of my rings. Then I'm going to set my nice hot jar, which I'm getting ready to fill, right here. The other way that you can do the jars is you can put them in the dishwasher and put them through a cycle. And the thing about the dishwasher is you want to keep it closed once you put it through that cycle until you get ready to use the jars. And you want to put it on heat dry. Okay, so that's the other way to sterilize the jars. But you still want to soap them down with soapy water too before you put them in the dishwasher. Well, I'm just extra careful like that. Now I also want to mention real quick how you can reuse these jars, but you cannot reuse the lids, which is why you want to buy extra lids when you go to Walmart or Ace Hardware or wherever it is that you pick up your canning stuff. Make sure to always buy extra canning lids because you cannot reuse the lids. Okay, and then I'll bring you back when I get everybody full and in the jars, and we'll go from there. Okay, I'm going to see if I can show you what a rolling bubble looks like. You see those boil looks like? You see those bubbles there? Popping up and bubbling. When I stir, they should come right back. See? The bubbles are coming right back. Okay, so that's what I mean. It could be higher than that, but this is as long as when you stir, the bubbles come right back. Then you're at that point. It's been over my minute here, and you can kind of check and see how it looks when it slides off the spoon. Okay, so I'm gonna pass the camera on to the camera girl over here. Go ahead and let me get this. I recommend you use oven mitts. I'm just one of those people where, you know, my hands are just used to it. Okay, so here's my jars.
Ooh.
And what I'm going to do is, we're going to need a 1/4 inch head space on here. So that's like the bottom, right below the bottom ring. Okay, that's all we want to fill that. I'm going to get my ladle.
Careful.
Yeah, be careful. Try not to be messy. Just a little bit more.
Wow.
And you want to have a damp cloth ready to wipe the lids. I mean, to wipe around the jar here.
The rim?
The rim. Exactly. Thank you, honey. You want to wipe around the rim of the jars, and then we want to put the lids on. I'll come back when I finish this step and show you how we want to put the lids on. Okay?
Mhm.
So my daughter has wiped around the jars for me. We're going to get all of that, any gook that's around the jar, so that the lid can go down and seal real good. So you want to wipe those off with a damp cloth. And now we're going to take the jar lifter and we're going to put the lids on. And we want to put the rings on what they call finger tight. Okay? So you want to screw a ring on.
Can I put
Finger
it on?
tight. Yes, you're going to help too, honey. And we're going to get ready to put them into the canner. Okay. I made how many jars? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. I made 10 full jars,
Cool.
a small tiny jar, and this much that I'm going to put in. Okay guys, so I just got through processing the jars for 10 minutes, and I'm sitting here letting them cool and listening for the pops. You should hear a popping noise, and that noise should let you know that the seal, oops, well, that one popped when I touched the top. And when it's sealed, you shouldn't be able to press down onto the top and have it bubble. You know, like, you know, boop, 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 like remember that game back in the day, what was it called, Trouble? You shouldn't be able to push this up and down. It should totally be vacuum sealed to the jar. And that's how you know that your jar did what it's supposed to do. If for some reason the jar does not seal, you have a couple of options here. You can put it in a refrigerator and use it right away. Oh, there's a pop. So this is good. This is what you want to hear. You can put it in the refrigerator, use it right away, or you can put that one jar back through the entire process. But to be perfectly honest, if you have, you know, failing jars or whatever, I'll just put it in the refrigerator. Because, I mean, if you do a good job wiping, everything should pretty much seal up pretty good. And so, this is the blueberry jam. I also wanted to point out that I got these blueberries on sale. There's another jar popping. I got these blueberries on sale at Aldi this week, and they were on sale for $1.29 a pint. So I really saved a lot of money making complete from scratch homemade blueberry jam, and it's very easy to make.